When I get out of here, I'm gonna turn my life around.
In just days, Florida will break a grim record. Its 11th execution in a single year, the most in modern state history. The man at the center of this moment is Curtis Windom, convicted of a triple murder that tore through Orlando in 1992. For more than 3 decades, he sat on death row. Now, as the clock ticks toward August 28th, religious leaders, including a Catholic bishop, are pleading for mercy, while the victims' families wait for justice they've been promised for over 30 years. Date, November 27th, 1992, the day after Thanksgiving. Location, Pine Hills, Orange County, Florida. Sequence of events. Prosecutors say Windom first confronted Johnny Lee, a friend, over an alleged $2,000 debt. The argument turned deadly. Lee was shot and killed. Windom then drove to the home of Valerie Davis, his on-again, off-again girlfriend. He shot her, then turned the gun on her mother, Mary Lubian, who had just learned her daughter was dead. Kenneth Williams, another man at the scene, was shot but survived. Witnesses described the killings as deliberate and targeted, not random acts of violence. Windom was arrested within days. The state sought the death penalty, citing multiple victims and the calculated nature of the crimes. In 1994, a jury convicted him on 3 counts of first-degree murder. The jury recommended death, and the judge imposed 3 death sentences. The trial was marked by emotional testimony from survivors and victims' families. Over 30 years, Windom's lawyers filed appeal after appeal in state and federal courts. Key defense arguments: ineffective legal counsel at trial, mental health issues from a traumatic childhood and head injuries, failure to present mitigating evidence to the jury. The Florida Supreme Court repeatedly upheld his conviction and sentence. In August 2025, the court rejected his final appeal, clearing the way for execution. Bishop John Noonan of the Diocese of Orlando wrote to Governor DeSantis, urging him to halt the execution and commute Curtis Windom's sentence to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In his letter, Bishop Noonan called the death penalty an affront to the sanctity of life and argued that sparing Windom's life would still ensure public safety while allowing for the possibility of redemption. He pointed to Windom's abusive upbringing, history of head injuries, and claims of inadequate legal defense as reasons for mercy. Anti-death penalty advocates have joined the call, organizing vigils, prayer services, and public statements. Supporters of the execution counter that the punishment is long overdue and necessary for justice for the victims' families. Florida is one of the most active death penalty states in the US. Recent changes in state law have made it easier for juries to recommend death. Windom's execution will be the 11th in 2025, breaking a modern-era record. The case has reignited debates over morality, deterrence, and fairness in capital punishment. Windom will be executed by lethal injection at Florida State Prison in Rayford. Inmates typically spend their last day meeting with spiritual advisors, speaking with family, and choosing a final meal. Witnesses will include victims' relatives, journalists, and state officials. Outside, protesters and counter-protesters are expected to gather. For the families of Johnny Lee, Valerie Davis, and Mary Lubin, this execution may bring closure, or it may reopen wounds that never truly healed. For Curtis Windom, it ends a long and bitter legal fight. And for Florida, it's another chapter in a decades-long debate over life, death, and justice. As the clock runs down, the question remains: does justice mean taking a life or sparing one? This has been the story of Curtis Windom, a case that forces us to confront the hardest questions about crime, punishment, and mercy. Stay tuned for more unique, true crime stories. I'm James Franklin, and thank you for watching.